Hey there, it's Quinn here with PTSD While Black. Just doing a post therapy check in so that I can hopefully retain some of today's session. Um, so, I'm dealing with issues of belonging. I'm someone who lives with social anxiety disorder, and I have a lot of PTSD around not belonging in communities. Um, and specifically for me, it's like not belonging within other Black communities is a huge piece. And I'm loving the conversation that I'm having with my therapist about, well, first of all, it's this trying to belong to my family of origin. I'm trying to get my family of origin to love me, which that may not have been the healthiest community for the relatives that I was around. And so I'm still trying to get that belonging when I really don't need to fit in with that community. And then the same thing is I deal with a lot of recovery communities. And so when I see somebody who's Black in a recovery community, I'm like, yo, I need to really like glom on and try to belong here instead of allowing people to be human and to have their own preferences and to also have the same, especially for Black people, for us to have the same human mistakes as everybody else. Um, I tend to just not like even recognize or allow that. And I tried to make friends, for example, with someone who's Black, but they're an axe murderer. And I'm like, why can't I get this axe murderer to stop stabbing me? Because axe murderers stab people, but I'm the kind of person who tries to make friends with axe murderers. That's me. So it's this really nice conversation that my therapist and I were having about this need for belonging, and this need for dealing with um, having trustworthy, safe people in my life, not just because we are of the same skin folk. Um, so it's this challenge is like, but collect them. This is family. No, you're trying to collect barbed wire people and make them into your family. So there's that, and then there's also that I'm somebody who does deep diving of my emotions. I live in depression. Um, and so I'm always able to swim in these deep analysis spaces of myself. And not everybody has that capacity. Not everybody wants to be there at the same time that I want to be there. And so, like, I'm drowning people in, like, let's explore all of these emotions and feelings. Let's explore all the feels and be deep within them. Um, and so I'm just having to accept that this is what I need for me, but I don't even need to stay down here all the time because it's exhausting. It's fatiguing to always be in this space. And sometimes I need to allow myself to um be messy and have levity and not have to have meaning to all of the little things that I can do. But definitely when you want to go there, I'm your girl. Um so it was good just to have that acknowledgement and that awareness. And the other thing was I'm making this video, by the way, because I have a migraine and I'll probably forget the session. And so I'm like, dude, make a video so you don't forget. Ha ha. um, dude, what was the other one? Oh, um, yeah, belonging is my thing. And I've either been extremely independent or extremely codependent. And how can I be interdependent with accepting people, places, and things exactly where they are while still being responsible to me? That's kind of the lesson that I'm getting to learn. And one of the things that I got to talk to my therapist about is like I'm the most obnoxious person in any group that I go into because I'm always at these deep dive level thinking situations. So for example, on the subject of race, my husband and I, we have a weekly meeting where we talk about internalized racist oppression, internalized white supremacy, and what is our part in it, how have we upheld it, how have we dismantled it. So at home, we're having these conversations, they're deep. Most people are not talking about this. And so when I go into spaces of color and I'm talking about, yeah, look at how I have to be responsible for my own behavior for throwing another Black woman under the bus. Can you be responsible for your behavior for throwing another Black woman under the bus on the job? And most people are not thinking about that shit. Most of them are thinking about how they're dealing with racism itself, externally, versus their internal participation in it. And so folks are not at that space with me. And folks get irritated because they're like, why are you trying to make me be vulnerable with you when I'm not ready to be vulnerable? Well, because I'm always vulnerable all the time with my husband and with the close people in my life. And so it's this good understanding of vulnerability. Just because I can do it doesn't mean everybody else can do it. Yes, it's my goal to learn to be vulnerable, to learn to be intimate appropriately with appropriate people, with appropriate situations. And that's kind of the lesson that I'm having to learn, instead of just being emotions all out, heart on my sleeve, whatever. Um yeah, so I'm just getting discernment, that's the word. Getting some discernment on um how I am interacting with my world. Yeah. And 1 minute left. I try to keep it under 7 minutes. But the other thing that I stuck in under the mat was dealing with my real issues are dealing with body image issues, relationships, and sexuality, and being able to heal around these. And I was talking to my therapist about a book a girlfriend recommended for me, from one of the food programs. Um, and just looking at that, the crucial part is like, can I be with people who are safe enough to talk about body image, about having saggy tits and wobbly bits and bellies that flop and whatever? And can I be around people who can talk about um, their sexuality and desires and wanting to belong and having messy relationships with other people? That's like my niche area of friends, and I'm so much fun at a party when I'm able to talk about this with people and also make jokes about it. um so I'm looking at, where can I find my tribe, where can I find my community, that I'm with people who are willing to discuss what it means to be in this skin, in these bodies, with these lips, with these hips, and as well as being a sexual being and reclaiming that for myself. So that's where the hell I am. And I will try to check in maybe in 2 more weeks with the next therapy update. All right. Peace.